Muppet Race Mania is a kart racer released in the year 2000 for the PlayStation 1. It was developed by Traveller's Tales, which nowadays are most known for the LEGO video game series. At the time this game came out, there were many competitors on the market as kart racing games became really popular. Some of them were good, but many games just tried to copy some more popular games such as Super Mario Kart. But is this game one of the good ones? Let's find out. At the start of the game you can choose between 8 Muppets to race, but you can unlock a total of 25 Muppets. Each one of them has an individual car, which also can be unlocked for every other character. The tracks are based on 6 different Muppet movies. Each of these movies has 4 tracks, 2 racing tracks, 1 battle track and 1 stunt track. You can unlock the second track of each movie by winning the first one. You unlock the battle tracks by winning the second race and the stunt tracks by winning the battle levels. You can play each level individually or in a tournament in which you compete against 5 other Muppets on either 6 racing tracks or 6 battle levels. You get points for being the best at different things, such as winning the race, getting the best start, the fastest lap or getting the most hits. And in the battle mode for surviving the longest, doing the most damage with 1 hit, doing the most overall damage and for doing the most knockouts. You can get up to 6 points per race or battle. The racer with the most points at the end of the tournament wins. By winning a tournament with more than 30 points you can also unlock 2 or 4 extra levels which are based on different Muppet locations. Before playing a map, you see a clip from the movie where the track is based on. The racing tracks are the main part of the game in which you compete against other Muppets to be the first to reach the finish line. Along the tracks are 2 things you can collect: stars, which result in 1 of 4 weapons, a fish that shoots straight forward, a bomb which bounces around, a chicken which follows the Muppet in front of you, and a penguin which is like a mine and jumps around a bit to hit the racers behind you. When someone is hit, it slows down the racer for a short time. The other thing you collect are fruits, which give you a boost, or when you fill up your bottle at the top, you can get 1 of 2 moves. The super boost, which makes you super fast and invincible for an amount of time, and the special move. Each character has his own special move, which slows down the other racers. By using the special move, you also unlock the cars of those Muppets you used it on. The battle stages are, like the name says, battle tracks. The goal is to eliminate all other Muppets. You can do that with the weapons you find around the maps or by driving into them and thus hurting them. Each Muppet has 1000 health and you can do up to 256 damage with a single hit by driving into them, 100 damage with a weapon, or you just jump on them for also 100 damage. In this mode you can also collect the fruits like in the racing mode, but you will only be able to do your special move. The special moves are pretty useful for some characters, but some moves are pretty useless as it is hard to hit the other racers with it. In the stunt tracks it is your goal to reach the end of the level. On your way are several obstacles which vary from world to world. You don't compete against other Muppets on these tracks, except in the multiplayer where you can race against another player. You can unlock new things by playing the adventure mode. In the adventure mode you have to collect every fruit, star or symbol on the map to unlock new modes for the tracks. Those include reverse racing, a battle mode and battle racing on the racing tracks, and on the battle tracks you can unlock chicken chase, where you can play against another player to chase chickens, and you can also unlock a boss battle. If you beat the boss or the bosses, you unlock a new mode where you can play as them, but you can only play them on the map you unlocked them on. On the stunt races you can unlock a reverse race, chicken chase and a battle mode. Find the movie slate to unlock the movie clip for each track. You can also find a Muppet on most maps. If you touch him, you have to race 3 rounds against him, and if you win, you unlock the character. On each map is also Doozer, which you have to push from his random location to his warp zone. If you do this on each of the 24 normal levels and the 2 levels you can unlock by winning the tournaments with more than 30 points, you unlock the character and a new level. The last level of the game will be unlocked by collecting everything on every map. If you win the battle race in the disco, you unlock the end levels, which are 6 tracks where you can race with an overhead perspective. Each car has individual stats like the speed and the handling. The controls might seem a little bit weird at the beginning because it doesn't drive like most racing games, but you get used to it after a while. The driving is pretty smooth and you can control your car pretty good depending on which one you are driving. When you master the drifting, you will be able to beat every course with no problem. The racing is fun and there is much action going on. When you learn all the shortcuts, the game might get a little bit easy as the bots barely use them. Some cars have huge advantages on one particular level, as they can jump on the water while everyone else has to swim through it. The battle mode is more balanced than the racing mode, as you can easily get destroyed by the bots as long as you stay in the action all the time. Each level has its unique look and they all feel different. I have to admit that I have never seen any of the movies, but the levels always seem to resemble the short clips you see before you play the tracks for the first time. There is much variety in the looks of the levels, but also in the design. Every level has a lot of shortcuts, some which are easy to find and others which you can miss easily. But when you know where to find them, you will have a huge advantage. Some of them are really creative, like this one. You can jump into the frame of a picture and drive through it. Or you can use a vent or a tunnel to be ahead of your competitors. It always feels good when you find a new little secret place to drive through. The battle levels all have huge open areas where you can battle it out, but also some smaller places where you can escape to and power up yourself with some fruits. The soundtrack of this game is incredible. Every level has its own tune and it always fits perfectly to the level you're racing or battling on. My favorites are the winter-themed tracks, which you could probably play on Christmas Eve and nobody would know that it's a soundtrack from a video game. Before the race starts and when the race ends, Statler and Waldorf make some sarcastic comments about the levels and the racers. Those are hilarious and I always have a grin on my face when I have to listen to those dumb comments.
You think they can fall off these rooftops?
I sure hope so. I paid good money for these seats.
Every Muppet also has something to say when you either win or lose a match.
They say that the best driver wins the race.
Really? Then we'd better stay off the streets.
The voice actors are for the most part the originals from the show and movies. The sound effects while racing are pretty normal. You hear your motor, the weapons that get shot, and some screaming Muppets when they get hit. The special moves also feature some nice little sound effects. There are actually two versions of the game, the European and the American version. I am playing the European version, which got released nearly 6 months before the American version. The gameplay is the same, but the design of the menu and the character screens are very different. In the US version, all levels seem to be unlocked from the start. You also have an arrow that always points out which direction you have to drive to. When you use a special move, the face of the Muppet that used it appears on the screen. The screenshots on the back of the game are probably from the beta? I don't really know. But the layout while driving and the cars are different from the ones actually in the game. There also appears to be rockets and mushrooms as weapons. The same style appears in a trailer of the game, which can be found on a demo disc from May 2000, which was after the game had already been released in Europe. Weird. Other than that, I can't actually find anything on the internet about it. Do I like this game? It is actually one of my favorite games of all time. I know that it isn't the best game, but for me it is all these memories of my childhood. I got this game to Christmas in the year 2000 and it was actually my first kart racer, I think. Me, my brothers and friends played this game non-stop, trying to unlock everything we could and speculating how we could unlock all those secret levels. I didn't actually finish this game until like 10 years later. I still play this game at least once per year, mostly around the Christmas time. Even though I've never seen a Muppet movie or the show, I still know and love all those characters that are in the game. The battle mode is one of the most fun things ever created, and I wish that there would be more than the few levels that are in the game. The soundtrack of each level is still in my head after all those years, and I can hum each one of them. As a kid, some things in the adventure mode were too hard for me, such as pushing Doozer into the warp zones. Nowadays, some of them are still pretty hard, but it's doable and a challenge I gladly take. All in all, do I recommend this game? Yes. Everyone that wants to play a good kart racer should get this game. You will probably not like it as much as I do, but it's still a solid game which can entertain you for a long time. It is a good kart racer with much variety and a different style than most games. Thanks for watching my first review and make sure to check out my future videos.